Right, so welcome to this 1850 point game of Challenger Scorpion. It's Necrons taking on the Grey Knights once again. Ben swears revenge, and the Necrons will seek to obtain another victory and earn some more respect on the channel. So in command is a Necron Overlord with War Scythe, and then Gauntlet of the Conflagrator. Upgrade for him, and he has Phylactery and Phase Shifter as well. Then one Cryptek with the Solar Staff, upgrade for him. 2 units of 10 Necron Warriors as troops, one of them is with a Necron Ghost Arc. Then Elites, Lich Guard with Hyperphase Swords and Dispersion Shields. Then Fast Attack Choice, 1 unit of Scarabs. 6 Necron Tomb Blades with Shield Veins and Particle Casters and Nebula Scopes, upgrades for them. Then 6 Necron Wraiths, no upgrades, 1 Monolith. Then 1 Night Scythe Transport, that's for the Lich Guard. And then 3 Spiders, no upgrades for them. And then finally the dreaded Doom Scythe.
This is my 1850 Grey Knights list. My HQ, Librarian level 3, and he has Psychic Shriek, Dominate, Shrouding and Invisibility on the telepathy table. 5-man squad Paladins with Brotherhood Banner, Demon Hammer, Silencer and a Land Raider Crusader as a dedicated transport. Nemesis Dread Knight with Nemesis Greatsword and Silencer. 5-man Terminator squad with Demon Hammer, Falchions, Halberds and Psycannon, Storm Raven gunship, Las Cannon, Storm Strike missiles and Typhoon missile launcher. The Vindicator Assassin, the Imperial Knight Paladin, and the Grey Knight Dread Knight with Great Silencer and Heavy Incinerator.
Right, so that's Ben's list here. He's brought back the Imperial Knight. They do like to see it on their channel. I don't think it's been destroyed yet, has it? In any game, it hasn't been destroyed. So there is an objective there for the Necrons, try and destroy that thing, because it has dominated pretty much every game that it's been in so far. So that's the army for Ben there. It's tried and tested, it's done well in the past. So he has experience fighting against the Necrons, and in return the Necrons have experience against the Grey Knights. So expect a game where both players sort of know what they're doing. So it'll be fascinating to see how well each army fares in this clash again. So we'll go on to deployment now for both of these forces. Right, so the scenario is big guns never tire, and the deployment is hammer and anvil. So there's a line of dice running up across here, 24 inches in, and then Ben will be at this end, so that's the view that he has across the table. He holds the big bunker. Then coming around here, 24 inches in, the Necrons will be deploying, so they're going to push into the compound in this direction. There's 3 objectives on the table, each worth 3 victory points. There's one just there, and then there's one here at the foot of the bunker, and then there is also one coming around just here in the sandbag placement just there. So we're going to deployment now for these 2 forces as we line up ready for this fight. Right, so deployment for both sides here. Sitting at the back ready to give some fire support is the Imperial Knight dominating the battlefield there. 2 Dread Knights queuing up ready to smash the Necrons to pieces if they can get close enough. Ben's just deciding where he's going to put his Vindicator Assassin. He's just doing his infiltrate at the moment. The Terminator unit just here, sitting on the objective. Looks like he's placing it in there. He's having doubts. And then the Land Raider ready to move out. That has the squad inside with the Librarian. Then for the Necrons, we've deployed the Monolith here, put it on the extreme right-hand flank. So armor 14 should be quite well protected against most of Ben's shooting weapons. Scarabs just behind, Spiders just behind them, Ghost Arc just here, some good cover in between us, so that should protect us quite well. And then the Necron Warriors here, and they're ready to move out into the bunker. And then the Wraiths here behind the bunker, backed up by the unit of Tomb Blades. So in reserve for Ben is the Storm Raven, and then these guys are inside the Land Raider. and then the Vindicator Assassin is deployed just there in the middle floor, there on the lookout post. So that's deployment done. We'll try and seize the initiative here. If we get a 6, no we don't. So we will go on to the first turn of the game, and we'll start with the Grey Knights and the Imperial Knights. Turn 1 coming up now. Right, this movement here, I often get hammer and anvil with the Necrons. There's some distance for them to cover. So Ben's starting to move out. Both armies have got to close the ground. They have an objective, basically the way the objectives have worked out. They have an objective each. The Necrons are holding one here, Ben holding one just around the back here. And then the third objective, perhaps the battle will pivot on that, and that is just at the base of the bunker here. So both sides are going to need to be aggressive, most probably, and try and take out each other's objective, hold your own, and then also try and seize this one. So expect the game to mix up as both sides try to fulfill that mission. Right, so moving for the Grey Knights on turn 1, moving ahead with both of the Dread Knights, and then following them is the Imperial Knights. So we've got a mechanised mechanical assault here on the Necrons, who are hiding at the moment. Their computer programming, they've switched on the self-preservation program and they've enacted it just hiding behind the bunkers here. They're moving around, Land Raider advancing forwards aggressively. Remember, they've got the unit inside, and then just holding the objective. That's the mission for these Grey Knight Terminators. So I'm going to go on to the Psychic phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 1. Right, Psychic phase done quite straightforward. Ben's given force to this, just that the Psy Cannon or heavy Gatling silencer can fire using the force profile. That's about it. So I'm going to go on to shooting now for the Grey Knights on turn 1. Yeah, Ben's going to fire at the monolith here with the turbo penetrator round, is it called?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Hits.
4's a hit. So it's a difficult target to hit a monolith.
4, 5, or 6.
Yeah. 4. Glancing hit. We've got away with it this time. Right, so that's turn 1 shooting finished. We saw the Vindicator Assassin firing. The only other thing really was the assault cannons and hurricane bolters there on the Land Raider. 2 Necron warriors killed here at the bunker. Ben could see through here. Then repeater battle cannon firing here, hitting the Ghost Star, but we passed a couple of cover saves there and no damage done. So that marks the end of turn 1. There's no assaults, no charges, no combats. So we will go on to the first turn for the Necrons. A couple of Necron warriors brought down, but that is about it. So surviving at the moment, but I'm sure that's all going to change as the game progresses. So we'll go on to first turn for the Necrons, see what they can do. It's the movement for the Necrons, and they're responding to the Grey Knights here. I'll see if we can take on this Land Raider. It's moving 6 ahead here with the Ghost Arc and turning around, passing dangerous terrain for that, and ready to let off a broadside. Then the Necron Warriors moving down from here and filtering through the gap at the bunker here, so they're in there, and they'll be able to fire through at the Land Raider as well. Monolith getting ready to fire with its Gauls weaponry. Breathing 3 units of Scarabs, so they're ready to move out, and then moving up with the Spiders, and then relocating with the Tomb Blades, shifting 12 inches in this direction, and then the Wraiths are just going to stick right where they are. So that is the movement phase done for the Necrons as we await for our flyers and reserves to arrive. We'll go on to shooting now and see how effective our Gauls weaponry can be against that Land Raider. Right, so Necron Warriors here are going to fire at the Land Raider. They need 3s to hit. We wish that was our Gauls roll. 6s for, 2. Spen's got 2 night fighting saves of 6+ to make. Well, that's 2 hull points on the Land Raider there. No, it's half dead already. Next to fire will be the Gauls Flare Array here. 10 shots. That's incredible rolling from the Necrons here. Their Necron Warriors just fired the ones inside, and they've caused no damage. That's their rolls with their Gauls Flayer weapons. Right, I'm going to fire the Gauls Flux Arcs now, 2 of them, so that'll be 6 shots, and they'll need 3s to hit. Just got to get 1 6 here. Missed of 2. Get one of these to be a 6, we stand a chance. Yes, there's 1, so Ben needs to make 1 cover save of 6+ as that Land Raider is finished. So, need a 6 here, otherwise it's gone. Oh, we got it. We're just confirming here, it isn't night fighting at the moment, so there is no cover save. It's clear line of sight, so the Land Raider has gone up in smoke. So it does, so Ben's just deploying here, 3 inches within the vehicle. They're ready to move out next turn, but that's a good result there. First blood to the Necrons, and a lot of points killed there in that Land Raider. So success there for them, ganging up on the Land Raider. So that's the end of shooting. We've also moved with the jet bikes, shifting them over away from trouble to join the Necron force over here. So they've got a plan by the looks of it, and it's going according to plan at the moment. Marks the end of the turn for the Necrons on turn 1. Yeah, so done. Ben's just rolling up for reserves. Stormraven has arrived, so that's turned up, and then we'll see what else he can move here as we go into Grey Knight turn 2. So he's flying on with a Stormraven there. It's good that his fly gets to come on first. We'll be able to bring ours on and try and engage it first of all. So just sort of held back. We wanted to go second here just to watch to see what the Grey Knights do and then react to them as we're trying to play a bit defensively at the moment. So we're going to try and gang up on one part of the army at a time. And then just, we can't take on the entire Grey Knight force all in one go. So perhaps if we're able just to take on one section of it and then prevail over it and then move on to the next, we stand some kind of chance. Try and keep our distance as best as possible as well. Right, so turn 2 movement done. The Imperial Knight moving around here, just keeping its angle against the Necrons, trying to get a good view for a shot. Just quite a few things obscuring that bunker complex there, helping the Necrons out. Moving up and over here with the Dread Knight, moving up and on top with the second ones. They're moving up quickly. And then moving around here, the Stormraven gunships come on to bring fire support as well. And then moving out with the Paladin unit to try and assault the Necron position here. So expect some shooting this time around. Grey Knights seeking their revenge. Right, so Psychic phase here. One Necron warrior brought down with Psychic Shriek. Ben's just cast Dominate on the warriors there. Right. Okay, so he's put Shrouding here on the Dread Knight as well. Okay, and then Invisibility has just been cast on the Paladin. So plenty of stuff going on in the Psychic phase, enhancing and protecting his force as best as he can. So onto the shooting phase now on turn 2 for the Grey Knights and Imperial Knight. Right, so shooting for the Grey Knights pretty good. The Imperial Knight firing here, shots coming down and taking out 2 of the Tomb Blades. Made a number of cover saves, just an obscured target as Ben fired through. Ghost Ark was blown up by the Vindicare Assassin with his turbo penetrator shot. Nasty unit, that one. And then Necron Warriors, some of them being blown up inside, other passengers. The passengers being blown up, a few of them. And then also some of the figures just nearby as well exploded 6 inches. Lost a Scarab base from that as well. And then passing round for both, but pinned with this unit. Soul Blaze on here as well. That was the Flamer firing from the Dreadnought. So under a lot of pressure here already. Grey Knights moving up quick and laying down a hail of fire against the Necrons and vehicles and infantry units being attacked. And then the Storm Raven gunship firing across here at the Monolith, but no damage done. Our armour protecting us quite well. Yeah, so that's shooting done. We're going to go on to assaults. Ben might be able to get an assault in here if he rolls very well. He's got a fair distance to cover, trying to reach those Necron Warriors. We'll be going through cover, so he's going to need something like a 6 actually after cover's taken off. So he's going to need a 10 to reach, just having to go through cover to reach us. So a very good roll would do it. He'd be happy to get it. 8, not quite. Yeah, we do get to Overwatch, not that that's going to do too much. Okay, so Overwatch done there. Ben passing 3 saves. We did manage to get with 6s to hit and then 4s to wound, but no damage done. So, and he's on the objective, as Ben's just pointing out. So it's going well for the Grey Knights here. They're really up for this fight. No fear as they move in for the kill against this Necron ground force. Right, so that marks the end of the turn for the Grey Knights. It's going well. It is going well, and it's often the case with them in games. They start well, but we'll see if they can endure to the end as the Necrons seek their revenge. So we'll go on to turn 2 for the Necrons here. We'll see how they respond. Crucial turn for them. They're under attack. We'll see how well they cope. Right, so movement phase for the Necrons on turn 2. All the flyers have turned up, so all units are on the table for both sides. The Doom Scythe coming on here, 18 inches, ready to give some fire support as the Wraiths move up to try and engage the Dreadnought here. They seem to be arch enemies of each other, these two units. We'll see how well they do this time around. Backing off with the Necron Warriors, backing off with the Spiders, backing off with the Scarabs, who have bred 3 more bases this turn. Just trying to avoid the Grey Knight nastiness at the moment. Ben's invisible here, so there's not too much we can do to him at this stage. We're going to back off with the monolith as well. But jumping up and over with the jet bike unit, the Tomb Blade's moving ahead. We'll try and relocate with those. And then the Night Cyber's turned up with its cargo. Haven't dropped them off, we've gone 36. Looking to move up the table with them. So that's movement done for the Necrons, just trying to counter the Grey Knight attack. It is a real onslaught at the moment. It's a tough one for the Necrons here, but we'll see what they can do as we go into the Necron shooting phase coming up next. Just on shooting phase here, the Night Cyber's fired here and has managed to get a triple glance on Ben. So he's got Jinx saves to make on 3 dice. If he fails all 3, then he'll come crashing down for us, yeah. Oh, past all 3. I think this game is going the way of the Grey Knights already. Just to get that sense. They are crowding out the Necrons here. But we'll keep going. Right, shooting phase done here for the Necrons, and we have done absolutely no damage at all. So disappointing for the Necrons there. Falling back here, we've had to retreat. Warriors falling back, Scarabs falling back, Spiders falling back, and the Monolith just staying where it is, but just doing run moves there, just gaining a few more inches to get away from these Dreadnoughts whilst they're on the rampage. Relocating as we planned with the Tomb Blades. They're shifting up here. They've gone 24 inches. They're going to try and move to a different location. And then we saw Ben making 3 Jinx saves, 4+. Well done to him for that. So that marks the end of the shooting phase. We do have an assault here. The Wraiths are going to try and make it into contact with the Dreadnought, which is so bad. I'd love to bring that thing down, trying to even the balance of this game. So 1 wound dealt out there from Overwatch. Now we're going to try and charge, and we should easily be able to do it. Ooh, 3 inches. We will just about make it into combat. Yeah, so made it into base contact there, no cover to go through, so all right. But Ben's going to go first here with his attacks. So 4 attacks. And he's mastercrafted as well. Yeah, we're just checking. He's on freeze to hit. His weapon skill 5, and then he'll be on strength 10. So he's at 2s to wound. He's fouled with 2. Right. So now if we can just make two invulnerable saves. Oh, no. Right, we're going to concede. Double 1. Double 1. It's not fair. It's a bad day at the office for the Necrons. So the Necrons, we reckon that it is the assassin has planted a virus in amongst the Necrons, and it is scrambling their computer program. They're not doing too well, but 2 Wraiths brought down there. But we'll fight back with 4, see what kind of damage we can do. Right, so we're a little bit depressed here. We'll just roll. That's good. Wish that was our Turn roll, but anyway, we're on 4s to hit. So we've got just a bit above average, and then 6s is good. None. Right. Strength 6, toughness 6, so Ben has 3 saves to make. We'll stay where we are, we're fearless, and Ben passes all of his saves. That's a shame, so not a scratch on the Dreadnought. Right, so that's assault phase done. Bit of a disaster there with the Wraiths, no damage at all, and then Ben's able to close in with a number of units and perhaps try and finish them off. So, not looking good at all, but we'll go on here to the 3rd turn for the Grey Knights. Really getting a sense they are out for revenge, and there is nothing that is going to stop them here. I do feel that we are a second-class army in this game so far, but we'll keep fighting. We know what the Necrons are like. They seem like they're down, they act dead, and then they come back again. So we'll keep fighting on here. We'll go on to the 3rd turn for the Grey Knights. So Grey Knight turned 3 here, and getting the impression that the Imperial Knight's a great ally to take, something that can sit behind and give fire support just as the rest of your more aggressive force moves out. So there's a good relationship between them. And then as the Grey Knights do move out, then that keeps the opponent away from trying to destroy the Imperial Knight, and it's able to just give fire support every turn. So it's a good way of working here, and it seems to be paying off. Very, very aggressive from the Grey Knights here, and the Necrons are just overwhelmed by the sheer anger and aggression that's shown. It just shows if you beat the Grey Knights, they will come after you again in future games with a vengeance. Right, so movement phase here done. The Imperial Knight just shifting along to get fire off at the Tomb Blades. The coming around the melee continues here, and then jumping up and across with the Dread Knight to attack the Necron warriors. Then advancing here with the Librarian and his unit ready to move in. It's predictable, really, just expects them to be this aggressive. Nothing to stop them, really. And then moving in with the Storm Raven gunship, 18 inches. Yeah, okay. Moving to the edge there with the Grey Knight Terminators to lay down some fire on these as well. So Ben trying to engage most of the Necron army, on the ground at least. So we'll go on to Psychic phase now on turn 3 for the Grey Knights. Alright, so Psychic phase for the Grey Knights on turn 3. Ben periled here and took a wound, almost got sucked into the warp, but passed his leadership test and he's giving himself force on there. Then Shrouding cast on here with the Dread Knights, that's a bit better protected. And then finally Invisibility has been cast on the Paladins again, so they're a nightmare to get rid of with that Psychic power, very difficult to deal with for the Necrons. So we'll go on to shooting phase now. For the Grey Knights, see what more damage they can do, and see if the Necrons can weather this merciless onslaught. Right, so shooting phase for the Grey Knights. It's been a good turn, a sad turn for the Necrons. Doomside's down. That was a shot from the Storm Raven coming through, one penetrating it, and then we fouled. It was a immobilised result, and then we rolled a 1, came crashing down and destroyed just there, which was a bit of a tragedy. Then firing here, all the Necron warriors are gone. That was fire from the Dread Knight with his flaming weapon and the Gatling silencer as well. They're all gone, failing their saves and reanimation protocols. Then coming across here, we did evade with a shot on the Knight side from Ben's las cannon there, and then all of the Tomb Blades are gone. That was fire from the Imperial Knight, which is a real bane to this Necron army at the moment, and then fire from the Terminators as well, finishing them off. So Necrons dropping like flies at the moment, and definitely at an early stage, it doesn't happen too often in our games, but Grey Knights have the upper hand. It's a definite at the moment. Necrons are overwhelmed and in shock at the speed and ferocity of this attack. Ben knows his foe, and you can see it reflected here in the way that these Grey Knights are being used. So we'll now go on to the assault phase for the Grey Knights, see if they can get some assaults in. So he's just tried to charge him with the Paladins there, but that's too far. He's rolled a 7, he needs something like a 9, so he hasn't made contact with the Monolith, thankfully. So all we have, as far as combats are concerned, is this melee just here with the Dread Knight and the Wraiths. Ben will go first with his attacks. He's got force as well, but he's strength 10 anyway. Freeze to wound, freeze to hit, yes, 4 hits. So he's on 2 to wound here, 4 hits. And he's fouled 1, and we've got to make some saves. Each one of these will be instant death. We passed with all 3. Well done to the Wraiths. They're the only glimmer of light that we have at the moment, so we'll try and fight back here. Right, so this is it, Wraiths. Come on, here's your chance. 4s for hits. Yeah, we're on about average here, which is pretty good. That was a hit as well, yeah. And we want 6 6s. Ugh. So 1 rend. So 5+ Invuln, failed, and then 2 saves of 2+. If he gets a 1, he'll be happy. He does. 2 wounds dealt out. I was going to say half dead, but it's actually 3/4 dead. It's already taken a wound from failing there with Psychic test. So it's almost dead, that Dread Knight. So that's the assaults done. It's gone well for the Necron Wraiths here. It's about the only thing that has gone well so far for the Necrons. That marks the end of turn 3 for Ben and his Grey Knights. We're going to go on to the third turn for the Necrons to see if they can make some kind of comeback. It's going to be one of the biggest comebacks ever if they can. Very difficult. Right, so movement for the Necrons. There's a glimmer of hope here. We've moved the Night Side and disembarked the Death Star unit. Should be able to assault those Grey Knight Terminators there and cause trouble at this end of the table. Then we're going to have to back off and buy time with this part of the force. The Monolith backing off, Spiders and then Scarabs of Bread and spreading out, just trying to bide our time. Going to try and do a suicide mission here, charge him the Necron Warriors and try and pin him down for a turn. If we can lose the combat but pass morale, there's some chance for us. And then the continuing melee here with the Dread Knight on 1 wound remaining. So we're going to shooting phase now for the Necrons on turn 3. So it's just been hit here. 4 hits from Gauntlet of the Conflagrator. That's this weapon here. AP2, so he's got 4 invuln saves to make. Yes, all gone. Well done. Well done to the Death Star unit. 3 saves coming in from the Tested Destructor here. If he fails this, we've got a wipeout. Yeah, so he's made all those saves there, so we do have 1 Grey Knight Terminator left. But pretty good there from that Death Star unit. Now that objective is under threat at this end of the table. Oh, but look what he has to solve the problem. One of these things, I hate that thing. So that marks the end of the shooting. A little bit of a rebound there from the Necrons, but it's probably not going to be enough. Let me just run a few inches with these spiders here, just moving along, just spreading out, just waiting for these flame weapons to come through, just trying to protect ourselves by spreading out as much as possible. So assaults now, we're charging the Necron Warriors. I've got a feeling that Ben's actually going to bring a lot of them down with Overwatch, and then we'll continue on with the melee here. Right, so assaults them, we've made it in, we've lost 1 on the way in, but still made it. We'll let Ben go here, want him to miss as many as possible. He hits with 3, oh dear. He's got 3 hits. Now we hope that he gets a couple of 1s. No, he's killed 3. There's 1 left. We'll be on LD7 to try and stand and hold him up for at least a turn. Just a little trick there to try and hold him up. LD7, it gives us a chance. 10, right, so Ben can chase us. We're initiative 2. Oh dear. Yep, okay, right, he's chased him. Now he can consolidate. So that idea has backfired. So he's won the combat there and he's shifted down 5 inches and that is it. So he's free to move off. Right, so this assault here, Ben will go first. 4 attacks, master crafted. He gets... Okay, he's missed with 1. Can re-roll 1 of them. Freeze for hits. Just 2 hits this time. Got a chance here. 2's to wound. He has force, yeah, 2's to wound. Okay, invuns we need, invuns we get. Well done. Phase shifter's coming in handy. Right, so 12 attacks here's our chance for a... Oh, no. Only 4. I knew this would happen, but some 6s would be good. No, just 1 wound. Ben gets a 1, he'll die. Chances are he won't. Here it comes. He's got a 1. Oh dear, so Necrons claim the objective there and have killed a Dread Knight. So consolidated there, got ourselves a little victory. 1 Dread Knight brought down. So Necrons are still in the game, where the advantage is definitely still with the Grey Knights. At this stage, as far as objectives are concerned, no one holds this one in the Necron deployment zone. Necrons have this one, and this one under threat, but still being held by the Grey Knights. So that marks the end of their turn on turn 3. I'm going to carry on here because the Necrons are still in the fight. They haven't given up, and that persistence has paid off to some degree at least. We'll go on to the 4th turn for the Grey Knights now. Alright, so moving for the Grey Knights and Imperial Knight on turn 4. Shifting round, 40 would do that. Shift around this direction to get some fire at the Necron Death Star unit. Just going to hold the objective there with the lone Grey Knight Terminator. Then moving with the Dread Knight, shifting round behind the bunker here, claiming objective. And then Stormraven moving up to fire at the Monolith. And then going in this direction with the Paladins to chase the Wraiths. So quite a straightforward movement for the Grey Knights. And then that Assassin is just holding his ground where he is. So I'm going to go on to the Psychic phase first of all. for the Grey Knights on turn 4. Alright, so Psychic Phase done. Force cast here, we blocked that. Then round here, Invisibility, Ben cast that, but it cost him a wound with a Perils there. And then he's cast Force on the Dread Knight. That's just not for his strength, it's for his shooting. That means that his Gatling Silencer operates with a Force special rule even when it shoots. So we're going to the shooting phase now for the Grey Knights. Right, he's firing the Vindicator at the Monolith again. It's a difficult target for him to hit. So he's on 2s to hit here. Oh, nice plum hit. Yeah.
Strength 10.
Strength 10. Armor 14 though. It's a glancing hit. Right, a ton of shots coming through here. 6 saves to make on the Wraiths, and it is Force. So any of these fail, they are instant death. We need a ton of 3+ here. Oh, very, very good indeed. Just 1 failed, we'll take that. But that's another Wraith brought down. He just fired the flame weapon there, but we made 1 more save. So pretty durable there with the Wraiths. Just spends just the rest of his shooting at the moment, firing the Storm Raven. That did no damage at all to the Monolith, just the glancing hit from the Assassin there. So shooting's not been too impressive so far. He's now going to fire the Paladin squad. I'm going to try and bring the Wraiths down a little bit more. That's the rest of the shooting there. The squad firing through. 1 wound dealt out, but we're still alive. Still going there with the Wraiths. They've done well to stick around. Ben just going to fire this now up ahead. And it's going to hit. No, it's scattered, but it's only 4 inches less his ballistic skill. So he's going to... Oh, almost knocked the Night Scythe over. 6 hits. 2...
That's a miss.
Just throwing up the other shot there, that missed wildly with the repeater battle cannon. So he's on 3s to wound. No, 2s to wound here at Strength 8. All wounded except 1, so 5 saves to make here. So roll here, 3+ with our shields. We've passed all of them. Well done to the Death Star units, surviving well. At the moment, it's going to have to endure a lot of firepower to try and sit on the objective. Just firing the stubbers there as well, but no damage done on the Death Star units. That's the best hope we have for the Necrons. And look, there's an objective there. We can try and take that. So we'll see. That's the end of shooting. Ben will need a 6 or 7 to try and reach into combat. If he rolls badly, he'll not make it, and the Wraiths will be 3 to move. We'll let him roll. We'll see what he needs. 9 inches, so we do have a combat. 7 he needed and 7 he got. It's that close, but we do have a combat now, and those Wraiths will probably be in a lot of trouble. Right, so Halberd will go first here. That's not the Paladin's name, that's the weapon he's carried. But he rolled 3 dice hit. Needs 4s, yeah. Weapon skill 5 of. Weapon skill 5 for Paladins, so 3s to hit. One cock dice there. Right, so Ben is he's got 2 hits and he's strength 5, we're toughness 5, so he wants 4s to wound. He's already rolled here 2 2s, so foul to the halberds. Next up will be the swords. So he's on 4 attacks each. He's got librarian mixed in there as well. Should be 12 attacks. So Ben's on 3s to hit. He's missed with 4 or 5. Come on, Wraiths, you can do it. He now wants 5s to wound the Wraiths, actually. Oh, he's wounded 2. So we just need to make 2 saves. Foul 1. That could be the one with the wound. So 1 Wraith has been brought down. Right, so the banner guy's attacked here. He caused a wound, but we made our saves. Now it's down to the Wraiths. There's 2 of them. So it's only 6 attacks. Oh yeah, Ben's invisible. So we're on 6s for hits. Nothing. That's so frustrating. I think it would have hit anyway, perhaps with 1. But a very frustrating unit to fight against when he gets that invisibility power. Yeah, Ben's hammer can strike now. 4 attacks he'll get on the charge with the banner granting the extra attack. So he'll be on 3s to hit. So he's strength 8, so it's not going to be instant death here. And 3 pluses. Passed both, so the melee will continue. The Wraiths will fight on. Only 1 of them brought down there against the Paladins. So surprised they've lasted so long, but they are locked down in combat there. That marks the end of the turn. We'll hand over to the Necrons now on their turn 4. It's difficult for them, but they're fighting tooth and nail as hard as they can. And we do have a chance to try and take out the Grey Knight Terminator here and hold this objective, but it'll have to be done whilst being watched by the Imperial Knight. So Necrons turn 4 coming up. So difficult one for the Necrons, this one. We're on turn 4 for them now, and they've been set upon very quickly, and it's come as a shock to them. They've been driven back. Trying to preserve themselves has been the main focus for them. There's been a couple of instances where they've bounced back and stood up for themselves. So they're still in the game, but I think it's going to be a difficult one for them to win. The Grey Knights, I think, will dominate these two objectives here. And what do their Necrons have to try and launch an assault? Just this force here. As to how good that will be against these units, we'll have to see. Right, let's move for the Necrons. Melee continues here. Then we're just launching as best as we can a slow and steady assault here. So the monolith moving around. Just don't want to get it immobilised yet. The spiders moving up, and then scarabs breeding. More of them. There's quite a number of them here. They might be able to use those 6s to cause wounds, but it's a difficult lineup for us to face up against. And then coming around here, just advancing 4 inches across the terrain to try and reach the last Grey Knight Terminator on the objective there. So we'll go on now to the shooting phase of the Necrons, see what they can do. Try and just chip off a couple of wounds off this thing as best as we can. Shooting phase done. The Solar Staff here firing, and Ben 2 wounds, Ben failing a save. So we've killed the Terminator there and have claimed that objective. And then melee continuing here, and then trying to shoot with the Ghoul's Flux Arcs, causing a wound, but Ben making his save there, and then shifting along a couple more inches with the spiders. That's the shooting done for the Necrons. In the movement phase, by the way, the flyer just flew off. We'll try and bring it on again on another turn, or next turn, actually, on turn 5. So that is the shooting done. We go on to assaults, which is just a continuing melee. Here, Ben will go first with his Paladins. We'll see if the Wraiths can hold them up for another turn. Yeah, 3 attacks now with the Halberd. So 3 attacks, because he's got this banner. Oh, very good. 3 hits. And then strength 5, toughness 5, force to wound. Triple 2. Next to the swords. Okay, so number of attacks coming through. This is Librarian and 2 others. And weapon skill 5's excellent rolling. Then he'll be on strength 4. He'll be on 5s to wound. So then he'll be on 5s to wound here, strength 4. 2. And have you activated force? No. So just regular saves, passing them. I have to admit the Wraiths have rolled well for saves in this game so far. It's keeping them alive. Regular attacks from the banner. He's just on straightforward attacks here. He gets 2 hits. He'll be on 5s to wound. Once, regular save, which we pass. And then the hammer will go last. So we'll attack now with 6 attacks from the Wraiths. Oh yes, he's invisible, so he needs 6s. Got 1. Get another 6, will be happy. 4. He needs to make a save here. Thing is, they're Paladins. They have... Yeah, he's passed. Paladins, 2 wounds each. It's a very, very tough unit to try and get through that one. So he's running for the hammer now. 3s to hit. 1 hit. 2s to wound. And 3+ save, which we fail. It's not instant death, though, so it's just 1 wound taken. Fearless, they'll carry on in the fight. Yes, that's combat's done. And that is the end of turn 4 for the Necrons. It's going to go on to the 5th turn of the game. The game could end. Grey Knight's in a strong position. They're sitting on 2 objectives, dominating this sector, and the Necrons don't really have much of a reply for it. And it'd be interesting to see what happens over here if the Necrons can withstand the firepower of the Imperial Knight. We'll have to see. We do have some good invuln save and reanimation with those, and the toughness 5 as well. So there is some chance. We just have to stand deliberately in the line of fire and just survive the incoming shooting. We'll see what happens. We're going to go on to the 5th turn now for the Grey Knights and Imperial Knight ally. Right, it's the movement phase for the Grey Knights on turn 5. Just moving around, just holding on to the objective here. Ben doesn't want to advance, he wants to keep the objective, especially at turn 5. He can't leave it. So if the game ends early and he's off the objective, then he won't get the 3 points. He's sort of forced to stay there, but he's got shooting capability that he can use. Melee continues here. Storm Raven's moved across turning and moved 18 inches. And then coming around here, he's on the advance with the Imperial Knight as well. So going to Psychic phase next for the Grey Knights on turn 5. Right, she's granted force here to the Dread Knight here. We haven't tried to stop it. Then he's cast Hammer Hand here, and we're not going to try and stop that one either, so he's on +2 strength. Now the dreaded roll, invisibility. No! Oh, 2 2s and 2 1s. So they're no longer invisible. The Wraiths can suddenly see their foe. And then force on that unit, which he gets. We'll try and deny it, and we don't. So force has gone off on that unit as well. Right, on shooting here, he's fired at all he had at the spiders and just 1 wound from the heavy incinerator there. So got away lightly with that one. Didn't target the scarabs in the end, but went for the spiders. So other shooting here, firing down with the Imperial Knight. Just 1 of the Lich Guard killed there. Weathering the storm very well with invuln saves and reanimation protocols being taken. So that is it. That's shooting done. Assaults. No, here, but just here. Ben, we reckon he needs a 9. He's going to need a 10. He gets a 7, so he hasn't made it into combat. Interesting, this. Very, very interesting. Right, so we've got this combat here. Yeah, full sand, hammer hand. No invisibility, though. Try and survive. Come on. Freeze to hit. 2 hits. And he's on 2s for wounds now. 2 wounds, 2 saves. Right, so we've survived the halberd. So now the sword attacks coming in. They'll be at +2 strength now. So strength 6 and force. So, and he'll be on freeze to hit. I think we're doomed. Especially with force, but we'll see. 2 misses. And then he'll be on freeze to wound now. Oh, quite poor. Only 2. Past these, we stand a chance. Past 1. So that is, we'll put it on the one with the wound already. So he's gone. Only 1 Wraith left. Regular attacks from the Banner Paladin. 2 hits. And 2 wounds. Failed. Alright, so 1 wound taken there. And then that wasn't a force weapon attack though, so it's not instant death. 3 attacks. 1 hit. Can't get a 6 at least. Nope. So strength 6 though, so 1 regular save of 2+. Passed with ease. And now the hammer to try and finish off this beast. Strength 10, so this will be instant death. 3 hits. And then rolling to wound, 2s to wound. 2 1s and a 2. 1 more save to make, which we pass. We carry on fighting for another turn. Not contesting that objective though. Grey Knights will count as holding that. So that's the end of the turn, turn 5. We're going to go on to the 5th turn now for the Necrons. Right, so moving for the Necrons on turn 5 and closing in here with the Necron Overlord. It's the biggest target he's ever had to face, but he's going to try and take it on. Continuing melee just here. It's a miracle really the Wraiths have lasted so long. And then down here we've bred with the Scarabs again and placing them within unit coherency within 6 inches. We've gained some inches in the advance and we're able to make up ground nice and quick here, moving up 12 inches very, very fast. There's so many Scarabs flooding towards this Dread Knight. Flyers come on as well to lend a bit of fire support. Monolith moving up to give a bit of fire support, and then 6 inches moved with the Tomb Spiders as well. So it's an all-out assault against the lone Dread Knight here. Right, shooting phase for the Necrons. The Flyer contributing here, getting a number of wounds, and Ben taking his saves, but taking a wound here, 1 wound knocked down. So it's a start, and that marks the end of the shooting phase. So we're going to assaults here, trying to get the Scarabs in. They're going to get burnt and shot up as they do. But we're going to try and swamp this Dread Knight here. He's got force. He's gonna have a field day jumping through those. Then the melee, continuing melee here, and a charge here. So in each third of the table, we could see a significant combat as in the fight to win this game. Right, okay, 4 wounds there, the Gatling Silencer, but it was false, so we took off 4 bases. Horrendous instant death. Roll up our charge range. 10, yes, the Scarabs making, he can't stop all of the bugs. Right, so assaults, the Lich Guard Overlord unit has made it in to contact with the Imperial Knight. Combat continues here, and the Scarabs are scuttling and swarming through to take on the Dread Knight. So we're going to assaults here, triple assault to deal with, and each one will show us which direction this game is going to go. So Ben attacks here first. So 3 dice, or 4. Right, it's 3 attacks here, and he'll need 1 hit with 4. It's a D weapon, so he rolls up the type of hit. It's a 5. Right, so Ben's attacked here, 1 hit and a wound. We blocked it with an invuln save, so it hasn't done any damage. The Necron Overlord hits 3 times. We're at strength 7. 2d6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. First one bounces. Second one penetrates. And the third one, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bounces. So 1 penetrating hit. Nice 6 here. Now we get a 4. Right, so that's 1 whole point dealt out there. It's a start. I've got a feeling it's going to take us a while to get through. Ben can now do a stomp attack. We get D3 stomps. Here, he gets 3 stomps, oh dear. Ben's going to roll for these 3 stomps he's got here. So, yeah. Double 6 there with those stomps, he's just wiped out that, and that has won him the game, we think. Yeah, the Necrons are not going to get up this end of the table. He's just stomped all over the Necron Overlord there, and his unit's been smashed into the ground. Invuln saves or not, results of a 6, they are gone. So we're going to do this assault here. Ben should be able to finish off this Wraith. Right, so Ben's just consolidated now, just quickly resolve that combat. And the Wraith was easily dispatched, and he can now consolidate comfortably onto the objective. So 2 objectives comfortably held, and a desperate attack here left for the Necrons. We don't think we're going to do too much damage at all. We'll press on here and get this combat resolved. Ben's attacking here, and no Mastercrafted yet, so 3 hits. And 2s for instant death. Yeah. 2 bases gone. Right, so we just rolled up combats here, and we got 3 wounds, but Ben easily passed those. That marks the end of hand-to-hand combat and the end of Necron turn 5. Right, so we'll roll up here to see if the game continues. On 1 or 2 it'll stop. Yeah, Ben's got a 2. We're not going to see turn 6. It ends here, and perhaps the Necrons will be thankful for that. Desperately trying to capture this objective, but easily holding these 2. So it's a clear victory, but we'll get points here to see what the final score is. Right, it's just calculated victory points here. For the Necrons, we got first blood, and then we killed a Dread Knight as a heavy support, and we killed the Land Raider here. That's another point. So 3 points for the Necrons. They did get some. Then the objective here, contested, so not held. 3 points for this objective for the Grey Knights, and 3 points for this objective. That's 6 points. And then Linebreaker here for Ben. And then, of course, Slay the Warlord as well. The Necron Overlord was stamped on and squished. He's never had that kind of fate before. That'll be a difficult task for the Necrons to reassemble him, because he's been stamped all over. They'll have to dig down into the ground first, and then gradually put the parts together again. And Doomscythe was brought down a heavy support as well. Yeah, so there are 9 points to the Grey Knights and 3 points to the Necrons. So it's a clear victory for the Grey Knights, well executed. They knew their foe. They met them with confidence and dispatched their enemy and fulfilled their mission. So an excellent result there for the Grey Knights. Some pride restored for them and some respect as well. And the Necrons, as the second place army on the channel, has definitely been cast into doubt. That number 2 spot is open for other races to take, that's for sure. So we'll see who takes that, and we'll see if the Necrons can recover from this crushing defeat. There it is, the two sides have battled it out here, but it's Grey Knights that have prevailed and brought about a very convincing win. So there is the battle. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Yeah, units of the game, Ben's going to give it to the Paladins here. They do well. It's a tough unit, and with a Librarian, they're very difficult to deal with. For the Necrons, difficult to say. Now we're going to give it to the Necron Overlord, just descending there from the Knight Scythe, and then letting rip with that upgrade, the Gauntlet, the Conflagrator, killing 4 of the Terminators, and then charging in, at least getting 1 whole point on the Imperial Knight before he was destroyed. So I'm going to give it to him. But that's units of the game for both sides.